true king searches for what he can give.
Can you guys talk about kind of the themes that impacted you in reading the script?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'm going to go with what it was true the first time, what would reverberate it even further out for me this time, because I have changed, and I need to be reminded of some things, but also how I look at the world. I fastened on to things that maybe I might have missed the first time. You know, one thing that occurred to me is when Simba comes back, he comes back to step into his destiny. Pumbaa and Timon are coming back with him, and how, yes, there is DNA, yes, we're born into families, but the families that we choose reflect really who we are. And I love the fact that they came back with him, and it is the acceptance of, you know, do we have the same values? Are we working towards the same things? Then you are my sisters, you are my brothers. That hit me this time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what about for you?
Yeah, I think it's a similar thing really for me. It's just these ideas of home, you know, and the ideas of how we reconcile with home, and whatever our journeys are, you know, that the road leads home to some degree, and whether that's physically does that or whether it's just the kind of psychologically understanding and reconciling oneself with where one's from and what one, you know, what one's origin is such an important and fundamental part of the journey of life. And so you know, that was a theme of the story that I was struck by in just as I was watching it, and how important that is and the resonance of that.
He does. He has to learn who he is. Remember, he's got the pivotal moment of like, who I am. Well, he's a king, really. I think your character was the character that said the most powerful thing a king can have is compassion, which I thought was an amazing line. Can you talk more about that?
That is a truism. I loved this time that I got more of the presence of the lionesses in the rearing of the cubs, and that the things that yes, you know, he learns how to step into being a king. Simba does, and he gets reminded of that. So the remember who you are is, yes, it's you're the king, that's your bloodline, but remember who you are. I think of that, you know, of that lioness sort of pit that were all of those female lions, what they have said to them. Remember who you are means your responsibility, your connection. Remember that you can come home. Remember that you can't be lost.
And I loved that character because I felt like she was so powerful, even though she wasn't fighting necessarily, but it was just like, and Scar was wanting her to do things that, but she was standing up for the right thing in the midst of that. So I loved that.
Well, you don't want to be reactive. Reactive is not power. You figure out what the situation is, and you move forward when you have the possibility of getting the things that is good for everyone involved. And when it was time, when she knew that when it was time for the lionesses to attack, she called for that. But you don't, for every, you know, you don't wail and flail and, you know, expend your energy. You assess the situation and you know how to make a move.